Carrhae, 55 BC. The army of Marcus Licinius Crassus marches deep into Parthia. Crassus is in the east, looking for glory and riches. He needs both in the struggle for ultimate power back in Rome. For weeks he has marched after the Parthian army. They are drawing him deep into their own lands. Now the Romans think that the Parthians won't fight, and the Roman cavalry are too far ahead of the main column. They've ridden straight into a Parthian trap. Heavy cataphracts close in. Easily massacre the outnumbered Roman cavalry. Now the Parthian horse archers are free to harass the Roman infantry. Crassus orders his legions to form the testudo as protection against arrow fire. This leaves them vulnerable in hand-to-hand combat. And the cataphracts are on their way. Only the few remaining Roman cavalry will have any chance of routing the Parthian horse archers. It is the early 3rd century BC, and the military prestige of the Greek successors has reached its zenith in the person of King Pyrrhus of Epirus. But the fledgling state of Rome is trying to secure her supremacy on Italian soil. Two cultures are about to clash at Asculum in southeast Italy. After a day of inconclusive fighting in the forests and hills, Pyrrhus maneuvers the Romans into a head-on battle where his forces must win the day. Elephants and phalanxes against the legions of Rome. Can the Romans hold the field against the best Greece has to offer, or will they crumble and flee? Thessaly, northern Greece. This is the army of Titus Flaminius, camped below the Cynocephalae Ridge. It is morning, and Flaminius has sent a scout party up onto the ridge to survey the terrain. 2 days have passed since the Macedonians were first sighted at Pherae to the south. There, Flaminius defeated Philip in a cavalry skirmish. Flaminius suspects that the enemy are close by. How right he will turn out to be. Philip has formed his phalanx spearmen into a line across the top of the ridge. It's going to be a difficult battle. Phalanx spearmen are tough to beat in a frontal assault, especially going uphill. However, not all of Philip's left flank is in position. A decisive strike here could be a chance to seize the initiative. To arms then, to the task at hand. May the strength of the eagle carry the day. King Pyrrhus's life is an epic tale of his rise to power, of tragic loss and outrageous misfortune. So much so that his name gives us the saying, Pyrrhic victory. He won a victory against Rome in 279 BC, but at an enormous, almost crippling cost. That was 7 years ago. Now Pyrrhus has raised a mighty army to take Greece, and after some early success, he heads to the city of Sparta, the home of the heroes of Thermopylae. Word has reached Pyrrhus that Sparta is ill-defended. King Arius of Sparta and many of his best warriors are away fighting in Crete, and only a small force is present. What better time is there to attack? A city with most of its army away on campaign is an easy target. Little does Pyrrhus know, but even a handful of Spartan youths and Helot slaves can put up a heroic struggle. And what is more, reinforcements are on their way. Pyrrhus must take the city now, and take it quickly. This is the year 9 AD. The place, Germania, beyond the empire's border. This is the army of Quintilius Varus, sent north by Augustus to pacify the Germans. Guided by a trusted local chieftain, Arminius, the legion is heading back to winter camp. But life on the frontier can be treacherous, brutal, and short. Thanks to Arminius, the Romans are marching into danger. Hidden in the forest, there's an army of savage German warriors, fired up and thirsty for Roman blood. As the danger becomes obvious, Varus gallops to the head of the column. He has to get his men back to the fort before sunset. Once darkness falls, the Germans will be able to kill them at will. This is a chance for Varus to prove that he has the right stuff, that he is a noble Roman, and a noble Roman general at that. If he isn't, he'll be a noble Roman corpse by sunset, and no one will get home. The camp is in sight. One last push by the Romans should see them home, but without enough survivors, this will be a black day for Rome and a massive victory for the barbarians. the river Trebia, 218 BC. Having sworn an oath at his father's deathbed, the young Hannibal Barca, general of the mighty Carthaginians, sets out to destroy the Romans. Having lost many men marching across the freezing Alps, Hannibal gathers the survivors and prepares to face the might of Rome. His forces are no match for the Roman legions. Hannibal must use the element of surprise if he is to have a chance. He hides his finest cavalry in the forests, and then sends his Numidian mercenary cavalry across the river to lure the Romans into the trap. The Romans take the bait and chase the Numidians back across the freezing river. The scene is set for Hannibal to stage his ambush. Timing is crucial. If his cavalry charge too soon, they'll be isolated and cut down by the Roman infantry. If they charge too late, the Carthaginian front line will buckle before the Roman advance. Hannibal also knows that he must use his elephants to create fear and terror. Failure to use these two key units to maximum effect will spell disaster for Hannibal's campaign against Rome.